Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz, May 30, 2015, 12:48 a.m., Birmingham. Topic: Nimrod's second attempt to kill Abram failed. At the time he threw Abram in the fire, Nimrod was 90 and Abram was 50 years old. And for the next several years, Abram had to stay hidden, so he went back to Noah for refuge, and then Noah died, so then he was led by God to a couple other cities and ended up in Canaan. And but here's what happened not too long after Nimrod tried to kill Abram. After this, King Nimrod had a disturbing dream, which his counselors interpret to mean that the day will come when Abram and his seed, the children of his household, will war with my king, with Nimrod, and they will smite all the king's horses, all his troops. This means nothing else but the seed of Abram, which will slay the king in latter days. Jasher chapter 12, verse 53 and 55. Abram got secret word of this and the conspiracy to have him killed again, and Abram hastened and ran for safety to the house of Noah and to the son Shem, where he concealed himself and found a place of safety. From there on, God moved Abram about, and he carried him. And well, let's go on here first. And Terah, this is Abram's father, came to visit him, and after he had been with Noah for a month, at which time Abram encouraged his father to come with him. He said, "Come with me to Canaan. You know, that's going to be a place of safety." But for some reason, his father went as far as the next town, or the town before Canaan, and he stopped. But so he said if he came to Canaan, that they'd both be delivered from the hand of Nimrod. This is in verse 65. And Terah hearkened to son's wisdom, but then came as far as the land of Haran, and that's where he remained. And then Abram remained there in the land of Haran for 3 years, and then he left, and he went on to Canaan. And this is where the Lord appeared to Abram and told him, said, "I brought you forth, and I moved you about from here to here to here, and kept you out of the hands of your enemies." And he said, "Now, therefore, if you will hearken my voice and keep my commandments, my statutes, my laws, and I will cause thy enemy to fall before thee, and I'll multiply thy seed like the stars of the heavens." Jasher 13, verse 3 and 4. And this time God told Abram, "Rise now, take your wife, Sarah, and all belonging to thee, and to the land of Canaan, and remain there." This is when God revealed the dream to Abram that was revealed to Nimrod before. So Nimrod saw this vision and dream before Abram did. But he showed Nimrod that his days are numbered. And then he tells Abram, said, and you're the one that's going to number his days. So this is where we are. And Abram went to Canaan, and this is where he stayed. And then Noah died, because Noah went with him. And Noah died, and when he died, he was like 850, I think, somewhere in there. I have to look that up. But then, yeah, he lived 350 more years. And anyway, Abram was 58 years old when Noah died, and this is what the book of Jasher tells us. But the book of Jasher then tells us, and in the 10th year of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, 7 more years, or in the year 1991 BC, Abram was 65. So this is 15 years after he escaped, after Nimrod tried to burn him. Nimrod, he's changing. Keep in mind, he's continually changing. He's not stopped growing. He's still getting big. He's still mean. And something even worse than that happens to Nimrod. And Nimrod and Apollo, where do they join? Well, we'll find out later when I get there, but this is where we are. And the dream that he gave tells us that Nimrod had assembled all his princes and subjects, about 700,000 men. It's a lot of people, and went against the leader of, well, I can't find the city. I'm not Shinar, but the leader of ELAM, ELAM. And Elam had 5,000 men. So Nimrod assembled 700,000 and went against the king of Elam that had 5,000 men. Keep in mind, Elam is a kinship, a relative of Abram. And when Nimrod went in, he fled and returned home in shame and disgrace to his own land, and he went under the subjection of Elam, the king of, for a long time. He went home with 100,000 men. 600,000 of them died. 5,000 men killed them. That ain't all. There's more. Jordy Wolf Expoz.